within a genre that allows characters to behave in such extreme ways is in a place for retribution and so on.
Extreme ways back again. Extreme places I didn't know.
That sometimes in extreme ways, you worked on an aquatic show in Vegas. You
Extreme ways are back again.
Hung out with the goat cheese.
Extreme places I didn't know.
The goat cheese queen of Humboldt County, California. You did another water ballet because you're
Extreme ways are back again.
A closet water ballet fan.
Extreme places I didn't know.
The goat cheese queen of Humboldt County, California. You did another water ballet because you're a closet water ballet fan.
Broke everything new again. Everything that I don't.
Broke everything new again.
Everything that I don't.
Broke everything new again.
Everything that I don't.
Everything that I don't.
That is now gone off the air.
Meanwhile, some scientists are suggesting some pretty extreme ways to affect the weather. They plan to burn microwaves either from the ground or from space in order to dismantle a tornado or scare a hurricane.
But the policy alternative to indefinite detention has often been targeted killings. The idea being that when you have potential enemies overseas, that you feel you need to stop preemptively because you're concerned that they're going to actually attack the United States or otherwise harm its interests in really extreme ways. How do you stop them? One way, of course, is to lock them up. The other is to kill them.
Extreme ways back again.
There are different perspectives on that. I do think the dominant understanding right now is that when you are conducting a war,
Extreme ways are back again.
that you can certainly have isolated killings when you...
Extreme places I didn't know.
One of the areas that's been particularly criticized is this idea of signature strikes. So not necessarily targeting an individual for his or her particular identity and knowledge of what he or she is about to do, but because they have a certain signature, whether it's clothing that they wear or places that they hang out, it suggests they may be affiliated with terrorism.
People are selfish, but not in extreme ways. Because if it's too extreme, it's not pleasant for anybody.
People's lives in such extreme ways.
Change over time, sometimes in pretty extreme ways. For example, a study from 2004 used fossil foram communities to track the sinking of a part of New Zealand. Around 20 million years ago, tectonic shifts caused the Waitemata Basin of northern New Zealand to sink under the sea.
Deadly, vengeance-fueled acts. They're consuming in extreme ways.
Meanwhile, we've got the Iranians over here who just took over with like an extreme Islamist revolution, overran our embassy, took a bunch of our people hostage, and are starting to act out in some pretty extreme ways. And so that's the context that Saddam comes into the picture. He's got a big Soviet owner.
There are thankfully some less extreme ways of optimizing your beauty.
America is already in a state of civil strife and on the threshold of civil war. When you look at the heightening tensions in the nation of America, the ongoing battle for the media space and the cultural space, the extreme ways in which most cultural arguments are conducted, with both sides focusing on the antithetical aspects of their opponent's arguments.
In extreme ways, whether it's
molecules which start to bond in extreme ways because of the hot temperatures and powerful gravity.
And I've dealt with this in different ways, extreme ways, where I've talked about serial killers and so on. And it's very easy to demonize people. And also, I've written about art brut.
And they seem to fluctuate in really extreme ways, and they're based in not a lot.
The story of Islamism is, in the modern world, that loss of that political power, that superpower status around the world has led to Muslims wanting to convert, wanting to impose, wanting to show power and recognition and worth, and sometimes that is done through the most extreme ways.
He'll go after us in extreme ways.
To behave in more extreme ways.
For me, if you're going to talk about Israel, I think it is entirely possible to be talking about Israel in quite extreme ways without necessarily being anti-Semitic.
And in the most extreme ways, you see people who say we're changing the world through figuring out how to build a more ergonomic chair.
To extreme ways of managing feelings.
We could expect massive panic that continues for days past the initial event, and religious populations around the world would likely react in rather extreme ways, viewing the event as theological in nature. And truth be told, their reaction would be well-deserved, as such a global event could have no other nature than being the act of a divine being or an alien intelligence of such an advanced nature that it might as well be a god.
How do you stop them? One way, of course, is to lock them up. The other is to kill them. How do you stop them? One way, of course, is to lock them up. The other is to kill them.
Extreme ways are back again.
The other is to kill them.
Extreme places I didn't know.
The other is to kill them. How do you stop them? One way, of course, is to lock them up. The other is to kill them.
And in the most extreme ways, you see people who say we're changing the world through figuring out how to build a more ergonomic chair.